So that's just called loaded. You know what I'm saying? If you want, the traditional way is ranch and barbecue, but we got 16 flavors, bro. So you can put whatever you want up there. You can put ranch and hot. You can do, ranch and something nasty sauce, whatever it is, man. Yeah.
Listen,
quite the experience.
The menu was pretty aggressive. The menu was pretty aggressive. I was like, whoa, I couldn't even pull the menu down because it was a link, right? It was a web link. But I was like, yo, they going crazy. Listen, this is not even a fake question. This is a real question. Like, do you FedEx food? I know you DoorDash, but do you FedEx?
A lot of people that ask that before too, but live, man. We like to cook it fresh. I be doing you wrong if I ain't give you that chicken fresh out the grease, man.
I see you DoorDash, and I'm assuming you Ubering too, right?
Look, 10, 15 years down the road, that's when I'll start slinging that frozen product, but it don't matter no more.
Well, let's just get this conversation started. You are tuning in, but we're giving you a peek inside of a real private discussion here with Corey McCoy. Dude, I'm gonna enlighten the people. I was showing him how I pulled down some of his food on the internet, and I asked him, would he be able to FedEx this? He was like, nah, about 10 years, I'll be able to, throw you some frozen food FedEx.
Right.
But how dumb does that look right there, my friends? This is the CEO of KOK Wings and Things. Corey, what is the sauce on top?
The sauce on top is ranch and barbecue sauce. And a little razzle dazzle of that KOK seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Just for a little texture. But like I said, you get 16 sauces. I mean, we got 16 flavors on the menu. So the cool thing about our restaurant is you get to, mix it up. You can do ranch and hot. You can do ranch and barbecue. You can do barbecue and hot if you feeling like that. And not only do you get to load the fries, but you can load your wings too. Oh. We serve fish. You can load your fish. Man, we done served loaded crawfish before. You wouldn't even believe it. But
dude, listen, all I can say is congratulations. And I'm about to just keep throwing some stuff at y'all throughout this conversation. Man, going into business with multiple partners, going into business, period. Going into business is not easy, period, let alone going into business with multiple partners. What has been the secret to the success and managing KOK Wings and Things with multiple partners, and you're still expanding right now?
Man, the secret for real T has been flexibility. Being able to adapt. It seems cliche sometimes when people just throw that word out there, adaptability, but I mean it gets deep. You have to be able to transform with what's going on, with the different feelings that people have. You get what I'm saying? You have to be a shapeshifter, in my opinion. A shapeshifter that still has a foundation. You know what I'm saying? That you don't get too far outside the lines at the same time. So it's a weird balance, a very weird balance that, hey, you can't do it alone. You need to have mentors. You need to have partners. Even if you're not going into business with partners, I'll suggest you have a very strong group of advisors that you trust that are in business. Don't do it alone because it's a very hard road to navigate.
But most of us want to do it alone. We want all the clout. We want all the money.
100%. They want 100%.
So you going against the grain, telling, this is a real conversation, right? We're here to change mindsets, educate people. This is real talk. Most of us don't want to share, right? We might know we need to partner, but it's easier said than done, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't want to give away our ideas and we don't want to give away no money. But my concept of my thought process is 25%, 50%, right, is better than 0 of 100%. Right? 100% is 0. You know what I'm saying? That's what 100% is 0. Because if you ain't making no money,
what you splitting up?
What are you splitting? What are you splitting?
Or what you keep it?
So I just wanted to combat right? Be the devil's advocate to don't go into it alone, because many of us have gone into it alone.
Right.
So, I mean, let's elaborate. I mean, I'm gonna throw this back up. Like, this is a business partner standing behind you, right? What is this platter right here? What is this?
So
Let's get
this
closer.
we got
What
this
is this?
thing. Yeah, we got this thing called the pressure pack, which is a larger version of this. The newspaper was coming by to take a picture, so you can't even order this platter. But imagine this platter times like 3 or 5.
Oh
That's what we call the pressure pack. And yeah, you got 5 mozzarella sticks, 5 egg rolls,
crazy.
15 wings,
Look
10
at the
fish
mozzarella
sliders,
sticks though.
fried pickles. I mean, it'll
Oh,
put you
fried
down.
pickles. That's what the I
Yeah,
see.
that's the fried
I
pickles
see.
over there. You see the shrimp in the back left corner. These little, this
I
fish in
see
the
what you
front left. That's the boneless. That's the bone-in wings in the back. The egg rolls off to the right. You know what I'm saying?
I saw the egg rolls first.
Oh man.
I saw so is this these are boneless wings right here in the front.
Yep.
KOK Wings and Things. This is the CEO, Coy McCoy. You can't do that all by yourself. There's no way you
Mm.
can pull that off all by yourself. Again, why is it important that we don't go into it alone?
See, I can't make it. You're not an expert in everything. That's the first fact you got to realize. I know we're all talented. I know we're all smart. I know we're all ambitious, but you have flaws. You have weaknesses. I mean, even Superman had weaknesses. Hey, why did they make the Avengers? Why did all the superheroes team up instead of just fighting by themselves? Because you're stronger together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Could I have done this business by myself? No, I would say no, because there's times where I probably would have let go of some things. There's times where I probably would have dropped the ball. And if I didn't have 3 other people behind me
Yeah.
being able to catch my fall when I'm slipping, being able to point me in different directions, I might not even be where I am today. So I just think it's important if you're humble to understand that you don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And is it about you or is it about your company? Do you want your company to be successful or do you want to be successful personally? And it sounds like the same question, but it's really not. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to sacrifice what looks like personal success in order for your business to become successful. And then you'll automatically look like that at the end. So a sacrifice to me is putting people on your team that are better than you, that know what they're doing, and that have a different passion and ambition than yours. That way y'all can be a well-rounded company.
How did you all decide like which business model was best with partners involved? I mean, partnership versus LLC versus corporation. Like, how did you decide the model?
Well, that's not even something that we went into knowing how to model. You get what I'm saying? Everybody knows the first word they hear when they talk about wanting to be a business owner is LLC.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, we didn't get our LLC till maybe 8 months into business. We were selling plates out of our house for over 8 months before we ever even got an LLC. And that was because we were starting to get a food truck. Yeah, that thing right there built from scratch. That used to just be a flatbed trailer. We built
Wow.
that food truck from scratch. And in order to get a health inspection, we had to have an LLC. So at that point, it was time to get put on paperwork. But it was just a partnership from the beginning, man. We all put in $250 at the beginning of this thing. We put it in a pot and said, look, this is what we starting the company with.
A real
And
partnership.
right. And ever since then, man, everything we earned, we gave back to the company too, which is another real sacrifice. Trust me, if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna be a lot more tempted to take that money out the pot because you don't got 3 other people there. You don't got another person there being like, wait, we do something different.
Accountability, bro.
Accountability. Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Accountability. How did you all come up with the name KOK Wings and Things?
So KOK stands for Kitchen on Clinton. And we literally used to live on Clinton Street, 117 Clinton Street. was the house I was living in college. My roommate was Trey John, which was the tall one with the braids, and those other two are my frat brothers, and they lived, across town. But our house was pretty much like the frat house, man. We used to throw parties there. All our fraternity brothers would come by in between school because it was so close to campus. And so we couldn't think of a better name besides Kitchen on Clinton.
That's super lit, bro. That's like super lit. What was the process? You said everybody put in 250. So it seems like common sense to me, but I know in business sometimes you got investors, then you got others who are really highly involved in the operation. Like, what was the process for establishing like the ownership and the compensation? Was it an easy split? Because I know when you talk about the money,
Oh yeah.
that's sometimes a tough conversation.
You putting the what they say, putting the cart before the horse by even saying the word compensation. Let me tell you something. If you are going into business with compensation on the front of your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you about to be in for a very, very rude awakening.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You become a
Absolutely.
business owner because you believe that you can build a system or that you have a product that people enjoy or find as a solution to their problems. The money is an after effect of that. So going in with compensation is probably one of the number one ways businesses die quick, because you can't go in expecting an immediate return, because that's not an investment. That's a gamble. You know what I'm saying? You put your money on the table, get something right back if you win. That's a gamble. We're talking about investments. So we went in with 250 each, and we understood from that point on that we were not going to be able to pay ourselves until our business had enough money to actually be able to pay us. And that was a period that lasted over 2 years, T. A period that lasted over 2 years, to the point where I was turning 20. I was turning 25 or 26 at the time. And that's the time when you got to start paying for your own insurance. You know what I'm saying? You got to get off your parents' stuff. You grown up for real. Like,
Facts.
our partnership actually almost broke up because when we started with that 250, I convinced all my business partners that we needed to quit our jobs so that we can dedicate full time to this. That's the way we're going to see this money back quickest, if we're always available. That lasted for a year and a half, and like I said, I hit that point where I had to start paying a lot more bills, and I told my partners I had to go get a job. You get what I'm saying? I had to get a job for a short period of time because the company wasn't paying us, and I literally just didn't have no money to survive. I mean, we was eating chicken every day. You know what I'm saying? We was all in that boat, but it was a little different for me. So that's when I ended up getting a teaching job. I had already had my degree by then. I taught eighth grade history for 6 months, and I always made the promise to my business partners. As soon as I got enough money in my pocket to, just get on my feet, I would quit and come back and run the business. And that happened. Like, I didn't even get to teach a full year before the business picked up to the point where we were making a lot more money. We were getting booked left and right. We were open all day. And then, I literally had to resign from my teaching job just because I didn't have enough time. Not to mention, every time I come to school, they was asking me more about the food truck than the kids in the classroom. So I knew it was time to leave at that point.
Dude, listen, I want to get on a plane just to come see what this sauce and all this razzle dazzle is about. And I don't even eat fries. But listen, it just looks so tempting, bro. Like, it makes you want to taste it, even if you don't eat the whole thing. Like, this would make
What
a
don't you like
vegan.
about fries? What don't you like about French fries?
I just don't normally. I don't normally do fries. I'm more of an onion ring.
Yeah,
But this
you
make
gotta
me
try this. I promise you're
wanna
gonna want to
try
eat
fries, bro.
fries. I promise you're gonna want to take some fries home after
No,
you come to
facts,
KOK.
facts. I mean, bro, like, I know you have talked about how you came about the recipe, but like, can you share a little bit about Like, why did your dad, when you said do something with it, or I'm gonna do something with it, did he not really see the potential of this? Like, were you not describing it good enough for him to want to
Well,
do it? Like, what? How could you pass this up?
my dad is a special individual, and you may know people just like him, where he has 1,000 good ideas, so it's impossible for him to focus on one. It's
Well,
impossible for
hey,
him to.
that's me. Sometimes.
Right, right. And I got to spin off of that. I got a little bit of that trait, but I got 1,000 ideas within my own business. You get what I'm saying? I can kind of keep
Right.
it within one. So I kind of won with that. But yeah, he just has so many good ideas. He has so many recipes. I mean, this was just a recipe that he just threw off his back. And when I say a recipe, I'm talking about the seasoning blend that we actually use on our chicken. I'm not even talking about the sauces. He came up with the original seasoning blend that we use on our fries, that we use on our chicken.
Wow, he's
So
lit for real.
yeah, I'm talking about that type of cooking. Like he know what he's doing. You
So you
know what
get
I'm
your
saying?
cooking from pops at the end of the day.
Say that again.
You get your cooking skills from pops.
Right, 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 right. And my ingenuity, I would say, my cooking skills and my, just being able to work a lot with a little bit. That's
Yeah,
definitely something
yeah.
he taught me. But man, the way we came up with our 16 sauces, man, we walked through Walmart and we started popping stuff open and tasting it. You know what I'm saying? I like a little bit of this. I like a little bit of that. And see, we was broke. We didn't even have money to buy these sauces, man. If we didn't like it, we was tasting it, putting it back on the shelf type thing. Now, I'm not encouraging nobody to do this. I'm not saying, this is how you start your business. What I'm saying is we were determined to the point where this is all we got to work with. We got to be very strategic. We only buying what we using. So we walked up and down that Walmart sauce aisle. We found some sauces that we like. We blended them together, made some stuff that tasted original to us, that tasted great to us. And man, we used to mix those sauces every day. We used to be open. And it got to the point where we were making over 50 to 60 barrels of sauce in a day. It got to the point where we had to order the sauces we were using from distributors in big cases. And then finally it got to the point where we were able to actually take those sauces to a manufacturing company way out in Mississippi and get it, made ourselves with the KOK label on it. And that was a monumental day. So I just gave that example to show like the progression of things. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You keep working at stuff. You go from stealing sauce out of Walmart to actually getting a distributor to make it for you and having your name on it. So
How difficult was it to connect with the distributor? Did you have to have volume,
oh
or was that all relationship like most things are in business?
Oh, that's a great story. Relationship cool and all. We got to sit down, and I'll never forget the day Cisco, that's the company. Not sure if y'all got it out there, but they came, they sat down with us, and man, we were trying to get some chicken from the distributor because by that time, Walmart would not let us come back in the store and buy chicken. Matter of fact, Super One, all of them would not let us come in there and buy chicken. And it didn't even matter if we had the work shirt on or not. They recognized us by face because it got to the point we were buying so much chicken that we were making it look like they weren't ordering any chicken. So they would order a bunch of chicken, we would clean them out, and then the customers never had chicken wings. So they started to get complaints about, the stores never having chicken wings and stuff. So they stopped
That's a
us
lot
from
of
buying
damn
it
chicken.
completely. Right. So it seems like a lot of chicken, but then we go to the distributor and the distributor lady sits down with us and she's like, y'all aren't ordering enough volume for us to even really have a conversation, is what she told us. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, I'm not sure if y'all understand how distributors work, almost in like a condescending way, but we deliver, cases, 50 plus cases, 100 plus cases to restaurant all over the city. And we were like, all right, cool. We took it as a lesson. Man, less than 2 years later, distributors was having bidding wars. They was trying to offer us lower prices on the food per case. because they wanted us to take their business instead of another distributor company. So, man, they didn't give us nothing. We had to earn it, and we had to earn it not through relationship, through volume. And yeah, we had to be pushing some chicken, and that took a lot of manpower out of us, a lot of hours of work. You know what I'm saying, out of us, but it paid off in the end of the day. And like they say, back then they didn't want me down hot. You know what I'm saying? I had all the distributors over. You know what I'm saying?
All on me.
Right.
Bro, that's a great comeback story, you know, because at the end of the day, it is truly about show and prove. Relationships will get you a meeting, will get you in the room. Right?
Exactly.
But then you got to stay there on your own. Right? You got to get the deal on your own. Right? And I understand and have gone through that process of having to create volume, which is why I was like, was it volume or relationship? Right? Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's neither. Right? Sometimes it's just not the right time. But that's a great story, bro. Let's talk about fundraising. In order to be in business, you have to generate revenue, and volume equals revenue at the end of the day. And you're talking about like post getting started when you're talking about cleaning out Walmart, right? Because you've already built up some kind of clientele, right? There's a demand in place. But how did you go about, like, the food truck, right? Was the first stop. So $1,000 got the food truck?
Oh no, but $1,000 got us.
How did you go about raising
a little cash register, a table in the front? You know what I'm saying? Of our crib, a little fryer.
The backyard.
Right. That $1,000 got the backyard operation started. But I mean, we were cooking out the house for a good, like I said, 8 months. A good 8 months straight doing house parties where we would cook for large volumes of people. You get what I'm saying? To the point where I was open every day after school. So I would get out of school around 3:00. Some of my boys got out a little bit earlier. Some of them got out a little bit later, but we would all just meet up on Clinton Street. By the time I got out of school, I had 5 people in my living room, which was our restaurant lobby. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for chicken. So I'd be walking in with my backpack, slide under the table, go to the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Get to making the food. So 8 months later, man, we knew we needed a food truck. That was just the wave. So they had a flatbed trailer that we got for cheap. Maybe about $2,000. It was old. Somebody was just trying to get rid of it. And one of my business partners' dad is actually a welder. He worked for the oil field. So he had experience with that. And so once we bought the flatbed trailer, he offered to actually build it for us. And we didn't pay no labor or anything up front, because the deal was he was going to build the whole food truck. And then after we started selling food, we can start paying them back on the whole thing. So that was a time where relationship, you know what I'm saying, got ahead of everything. And we was actually able to get some help with that whole operation. And we still had to pay up, but he let us pay up on the back end. But boy, once we got that food truck built, we started making a whole different type of money at that point.
So from the backyard to the food truck.
My bad. This is a crazy thing. Another crazy thing about it, we didn't even think about it. We built the whole food truck and we didn't even have a truck to pull it. So we had this food truck trailer, and we all looked up at each other after we was done celebrating, like, wait, nobody even got a truck, man. So we used to have to rent a U-Haul truck. Yeah, we used to have to rent a U-Haul truck every time we wanted to get it. And then look, we leveled up that so bad to the point where we started just renting a U-Haul truck, and then we built up a relationship and was actually able to get a corporate account with U-Haul where we was able to get the rental truck at a way cheaper rate before we saved up enough to buy our own truck. So yeah, it's levels to everything you do, you know?
Hey, what a difference a day makes, brother. Like what a difference a day makes, for sure, right? Because I mean, it's like all grown up. Now, is this like 2 stores later? what's the point of this? Because let's go back. Let's help people understand the timeline. So this was in the beginning, almost in the beginning, right? So how many years ago was this picture?
This was at our grand opening for the restaurant that's actually behind the food truck. So that's 2018. We started cooking out the house in 2016. So, like I said, 8 months into 2016, we got that food truck. We had that food truck for a good year, in a few months before we got that restaurant.
And this is where?
That's at that same restaurant, but this is actually an outside eating area that we expanded onto our business during COVID, because you remember people weren't allowed to eat inside, and when they were allowed to eat, they had to be so far apart from each other, 6 feet and all those things. So we actually built this entire outside seating area to keep our business alive during COVID and help us, still be able to serve food.
Multiple locations right now, and I know you're working on a couple of new ones that are on the horizon, right? Where are the new locations, and when can those of us who are interested get ready for some franchising? Talk to us, brother. Talk to us.
All right. The new locations are in New Iberia. New Iberia is a smaller town than Lafayette, but definitely has a lot of traffic. Has a lot of corporate presence. And we're trying to stretch all over Louisiana. So that was one location that we wanted to have as just a beacon of the brand, so that people throughout the state can get it. Now, Baton Rouge, of course, is the state's capital, and we're coming to take Baton Rouge by storm. We're about to open up one location out there with the plan of probably opening up, more within that same city, because that's just how big Baton Rouge is. So those are the two locations that are coming down the road. Now, when it comes to franchising, you know, I'm young. See, I'm just turning 30. I'm just turning 30. I ain't even 30 yet. We talking right now. I'm still 29. So um we franchising is definitely in the business plan, but it's of no rush to any of us. We really want to scale our business, see what the potential we have with it, and then when we are talking about franchising, we ain't trying to sell one store, two store. I'm trying to have somebody open up 10, open up 15 KOKs, that type of franchising. Really, you know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Changing the game when you get into stuff like that. And all you got to do is focus on creating a system
Yeah.
that you can scale. So that's what we've been focusing on over the past 6 years.
Hey, no, I can certainly think. I got to put it out there, right? Because I'm getting nudges, I'm getting questions, and so listen, I have to put it out there. Yo, listen, what I know right now, as I experience hiring issues, recruiting issues, post COVID, things have changed. People sat at home for so long, collecting money, not having to work. Right, it shifted the
Right.
environment. You got locations, you need people. Hiring and recruiting, right? Not always easy, but what does it look like for KOK? How's staffing going?
Man, staffing is a tremendous battle, especially in my industry. The restaurant hospitality industry has some of the highest turnover rate out of any
Yeah,
industry. And if you think about it, it's a lot of people's first job. They come in not knowing what to expect from a job or what a job expects from them. It's a lot of people's in between jobs. So maybe they had another job and they just working in the restaurant industry because it was quick. So we get a lot of different characters, and we got a great staff. Um, During COVID, we raised the pay of our staff actually to keep a lot of them on board. Does that stop people from leaving? Does that stop people from quitting? Does that stop people from having their own life? No. And the turnover rate is always a battle in the restaurant industry. There was never a time where it was not. So I'm saying that to reinforce how bad and how hard it was to keep employees during that period of COVID, where now their health is actually a threat. You know what I'm saying? You're asking them come in to work when you're not necessarily even in the restaurant to work to serve other people for regular pay. So we did what we could with a smaller staff. We raised their pay to make sure there was a little bit more taken care of. We took safety measures, like we actually turned our parking lot into a drive-through to where people can just drive in. We'll go to their window and order, you know what I'm saying, and deliver it to them. So
Nice.
we did a lot of things like that, and trying to make the work environment good so that people actually want to come. Although we do have one of the highest turnover rates in any industry, and we're victim to that as well. I like to brag that as many people quit KOK, probably 90% of my employees come back, and apply for their job again and join the team again, because after they go work for other companies, they see the difference. In working for a company like mine versus working for a company like others, where the people don't care about you as much. You don't get that attention, or people just look at you as a number. So staffing is always a struggle. And if you're in any business, the only key I can give you from an industry where it's very very rapid, very what's the word? I can't even think of it. Very, very choppy. You get what I'm saying? The only advice I can give you is build a cultured team. You can't go in there it being all business. You can't go in there it being all paperwork. If your business does not have no culture, nobody is going to subscribe to it. Nobody is going to want to come in and work for it every day. You got to have a cause, and you got to treat your people like it's a family, regardless of how cliche that is. Even if you don't consider that family, you got to treat them like they're a group that's feeding you, because that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? You got these people in your business to help you make money. So I don't know about you. Anybody that help put money in my pocket is like family to me.
Listen, bro. I say congratulations to the squad, right? Congratulations. I mean, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man, like what you have done is major, but what you are doing is even more because you're sustaining and you're scaling, right? It's like a stair step. We were having a conversation recently, and you really don't understand that for me, right? It's a fair exchange, right? I coach, I mentor, I provide feedback, but I receive it as well, and I'm learning as well. You said something the other day that shifted like something in my psyche. You said, uh, "I got aspirations to ring the bell."
Yeah, facts.
I want to ring the bell. And for those who do not have a clue about what the hell I'm talking about right now, I want you to tell them what ringing the bell means for you, as you just shared your youth and how you have visions of 10 locations. The whole purpose of the kickstart your vision business and leadership summit is to help shift mindsets, right? We're really trying to help business owners and leaders level up. I think we try to keep up with people who are way over our heads compared to what we're trying to do. And what I'm really excited about, bro, is this whole grassroots, right, consultant effort, because it's truly about shifting mindsets, about doing things one step at a time, not trying to get ahead of yourself, right? Tell them what ringing the bell means to you as we shift mindsets about the type of businesses we can build and grow.
Well, when I'm talking about ringing the bell, I'm referring to the stock exchange. When a company goes public, they usually invite the CEO, you know what I'm saying, to the stage at the New York Stock Exchange in New York, and they ring the bell, and that's officially when the stock starts selling for the company. Um, I want to reach that point, and way more than 10 locations. I want KOK to be a nationwide business. That's my goal. I want to rival Buffalo Wild Wings before it's all said and done.
Uh-oh.
If I can put them out of business, I'm gonna be happy. That's how I'm
I think
coming.
you can, bro.
Because I think I got a product better than that, and I think I got a product that has way more culture than what they're offering. Wingstop too, all of the above. And what it means for me is we always got into this business with the aspirations to scale. Mom and pop restaurants are cool, and I'm referring to restaurants that just have one location. That's fine for people who are just doing it for fun, or a hobby, or they're older. But that's the reason why I got 3 business partners from the beginning, because I understood how corporations were set up. And corporations aren't set up with just one person leading the whole thing. They got people who are over certain areas of the company. So even when we only had $1,000 to the company's name, I'm the CEO. I had a COO. I had a CMO, and I had a CFO. A chief finance officer, a chief marketing officer, a chief operating officer, and I was a chief executive officer. And we scaled it just like that from the very beginning. So a lot of people saw us grow and were surprised at the rate we could grow and how well we handled our growth. But they don't understand that we literally created a funnel for us to be able to grow in that way. We always stayed in our lane. We picked our area of expertise, and we stuck to making our area better. And yeah, we can help, with the other areas, and we're definitely going to hold you accountable for the area you're in. But that made us an equal partnership to where we all had something to focus on, and we weren't never stepping on each other's toes, because at the end of the day, you can point the finger at the other man, but trust me, you got a whole bunch of stuff to fix in your area too. So it kept us focused to the point where we are able, to scale to this point. And we're still structured to be able to scale past this point. We started off with just us 4. Now we're at the point where we have over 50 employees. And we're getting to the point where KOK is actually no longer even going to be considered a small business. Now we're transitioning into mid-sized business. So I can't even, I'm a
Closer
fish.
to ringing the bell. Closer
Right.
to ringing the bell,
Close to
baby.
ringing the bell. I'm a fish in a whole new pond now. You get what I'm saying? But I definitely am not forgetting about the small business owners and the journey that it took, because everybody doesn't get this blessed to have a 6-year journey that catapults them, into this. And some people are even more blessed, and it's harder to handle the journey when, hey, your business might blow up in a year, to where you got a whole lot of growing to do if your business blow up in a year. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was perfect timing, and yeah, we were able to scale because we set our business up from the beginning to scale.
How did COVID impact your business? Because clearly COVID shut businesses down. How were
Right.
you impacted? How did you pivot during COVID?
Well, most of the business that COVID shut down, they weren't able to adapt. And one thing that we were great at were adapting, because we started from nothing anyway. We had to adapt from day one. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't have no money in the account, we had to adapt from day one when we were trying to figure out what the sauces were. You know what I'm saying? We had to adapt from day one when we got that food trailer and had to build it up. So um, how we survived during COVID, and how it impacted us, it hit us hard. It hit us hard. It hit everybody hard. There was times where we had to shut the business down for months at a time, and we weren't getting no income. We still had some bills to pay. They helped out with some things, but eventually federal assistance started coming through. And that's another big thing. So many businesses actually missed out on how much help there was out there, just because they didn't understand or have any knowledge of grants, of how loans work, and all of those different things. So it was actually during COVID, we were able to acquire a lot of disaster relief. We were able to acquire a lot of funding from the government. They had the faucets open at that time. But I mean, everybody had access to that. Some people wasted it away during COVID. What we did was reinvested all of that money back into the business with the plan of coming out of COVID eventually and us being able to handle not only if COVID happened again, but if COVID ended, the influx of business we would have. Like I said, that's when we added the outside seating area. We doubled the size of our seating in our restaurant at that time. I think we were able to seat like 50 people. We changed it to 100. We ran the drive-through, which turned into our curbside program that we have now. And we just we adapted and we made work what we had to work. And an interesting fact is you see those wood panels at the bottom of that section?
Yep.
Those are actually panels from the original food truck. Because we took those off and used it repurposed it, used it to help build the coop is what we call that outside area. Yeah, that's the same wood panel. So that's just another example of adapting. Wow. And man, COVID hit us hard, but we reinvested in our business just like we did from day one because we understood that's what's necessary in order to see it grow.
What advice would you give someone reluctant to partner in business? Maybe because they've been burned. We've all been burned, right? And we don't give people second chances. But what would you say to somebody who is like dead set on like to hell with what they talking about with that partner?
I mean, if you're not comfortable, don't partner. Don't go into business alone. That's my advice. But understand eventually you're going to have to partner. It's not an if and a but about it. You can't do it alone. Like I said at the beginning, like maybe you're not giving nobody a percentage of your company, but if you're paying somebody expenses, isn't that still a percentage of your company? Yeah. So personally, I like having people who are invested in my company as well, who have an interest in my company as well, being the people who get a split of the money and can provide expertise instead of me paying a third party that I just met because they got an ad on Google and them telling me what's best for my business. If you're reluctant to partner, take your time. I'm not just saying pick anybody off the street and force them to be your partner and work through anything they put you through. That's not what I'm saying. And I mean, I was fortunate to get it right the first time. I'm saying go into business with a plan of who your perfect partner is. Go into business with a plan of, all right, I'm going to do this alone for this period of time. And around this time, I'm going to start looking for a partner. Go into business. And like I said, you should have mentors. You should have advisors. Even if you're just building a partnership team of people you can go sit in a meeting room with, of people who can hold you accountable. That's one of the biggest keys when it comes to why get a partner. Who is going to hold you accountable? And you can say yourself all day, but we are human beings. Yeah. And it's a reason why we're pack animals. You get what I'm saying? It's a reason why we have a herd mentality. It's a reason why humans got this far in the first place. We're on a Zoom call. We're on this computer, we podcasting. We in 2 different states.
Absolutely.
That wasn't just because it was one smart man who made all of this. He had a team. They had other companies that, they teamed up with partnerships. Yeah. It's a key part of business. And if you think you're going to go into business and never have to deal with any type of partnership and never have a partner, you're shooting yourself in the foot early.
Yeah. This is the Kickstart Your Vision Business and Leadership Summit. Bro, as we wrap this conversation, this little into our private conversation, right, about business, can you please share one really, really good piece of advice to emerging entrepreneurs, those who got a vision and they might even have the resources, but they're scared to take the leap? What advice do you have for them?
If I could put it into one sentence, the advice I have for brand new entrepreneurs is you don't play business. And it's a spin on the quote, you don't play fighting. It's really a fighting quote. They say you don't get to play fight. You either in a fight or you're not fighting. You get what I'm saying? So my advice to business people are you don't play business, and you're either gonna do business or you're gonna act like you want to do business. And it's two completely different things. At the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, you're here because you're a problem solver. You're here because you're good at finding solutions. That's literally the definition of, entrepreneur in my book. I can solve problems. That's how your value is assessed in the business world. What problem can you solve, and how quickly can you solve it? How efficiently can you solve it? How well does your solution work? So don't come into this game thinking you know everything. Don't come into this game thinking, hey, I'm going to just create this facade that my business is so put together that everything is just perfect, that everything's going right, that, hey, sales are good. I just want to look this way. However, because you'll see a whole lot of people's business, but let me ask you this, T. How many people's business do you see grow year over year?
That's the key. That's the key. It's not just about, to answer your question, not many, because they don't have a
Right.
plan to grow, right? And so, brother, like, that's the key. Year over year growth, quarter over quarter growth, week over week growth, because you have targets, right? And that's the
Don't
key.
open just to open. Don't
Scaling.
open just to open.
Be in business. Don't play like you in business. Be in business, brother. Much respect to you. Appreciate you for allowing the audience a sneak peek, to peel the onion back a little bit into the full story. Tell the folks, as we wrap this up, what they can look forward to.
If you want to follow my story, you can follow me on Instagram at NGSRACK, RACK. So it's NGSRACK. What we had to look forward to on Monday is a premiere of my podcast, McCoy in the Morning. And you can follow that podcast at Wake That Ass Up. That's right, at Wake, WAKEDATASS UP. You know what I'm saying? Wake that ass up. And the reason why I call that is because this is a small business mindset podcast that we do from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. So wherever time that is for you, log in and, get this energy, because I talk specifically to new entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who are getting a little tired, who are trying to scale their business to the level where they don't have to operate it no more, but then the business is running for itself. So if that explains you, if you're don't like your job but don't feel like you got enough time to run a business on the side, if you had a good business idea but you let it go and you don't know how to pick it back up, tune into McCoy in the Morning. Follow us on Instagram. And really get this small business advice. Also visit my website, The Grassroot CEO. That's the TheGrassroot CEO. All right, The Grassroot CEO. And I got consultations up there. You can also subscribe to the Grassroots movement, and that'll make you an exclusive, part of this thing. Well, you'll hear from me on a weekly, monthly basis, and we can really help you from keeping that dream dying, man. We don't want you to give up on your dream. We don't want your dream to die. So if you're having trouble with it, please log in and give me a chance to save it with you. I'm going to be right there with you. Thank you, T.
Bro, thank you.